Happy New Year to all, and welcome to episode number 5 of Tuesday's Upset Forecast, powered by Bookmakers Bet.
Every Tuesday, we break down sharp betting angles across football, basketball, and the NFL. Four picks, 5 rapid fire predictions, all in less than 30 minutes.
So, you've been tolerating me for 5 episodes.
Oh, it is loving you for 4 episodes. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yes. It's actually 4 episodes, you're right. But as you already know, Bookmakers Bet is much more than this podcast. It is a website, bookmakers.bet. It is our social media, our X account, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, Brad's favorite, TikTok.
Yeah.
You
I'm
can
their
listen
favorite.
to us. So it's 4 strikes, right? 4 strike Brad. Okay. Or three, yes. So make sure to follow us everywhere, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So I think we cheated a bit today, and we already introduced you, Mr. Brad Thomas. I am DimiCub for the record. I am Bookmaker Bet's native. So talk us a bit about yourself, please.
I am Mr. Banned on TikTok. But listen, for anybody who's watching or listening to the show, I still have a TikTok. It's new. They can't ban me forever. If TikTok's listening,
Yes, they can.
I'm sorry.
They can't.
Can't keep the
So
good man down, that's for sure.
yes, I think even if they ban you, you'll be still up and given the gifts.
Yes, absolutely.
You'll be given the gifts. And you'll be given gifts like the ones that we gave to everybody last week. But before that, and since it's still the festive days, still it's the first days of the new year, I would like to break down my favorite betting tradition in New Year's, which is placing bets exactly 2 minutes after midnight, after the Happy New Year wishes and stuff. And this time I decided to place a bet on Orlando on live betting to cover a 3.5 spread against the Pacers. And what happened?
Wait, didn't we blow the Pacers out?
Yeah, no. Yeah, you actually didn't. You didn't on New Year's Day or New
Oh,
Year's Eve for America.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was actually a 2-point win with Desmond Bain getting blocked by Pascal Siakam in the most crucial moment of the match. Yeah, which cost me my first bet of the year. There goes my first bet of the year. How about you? What is your favorite betting tradition, Brad?
Winning. My favorite betting tradition is winning. And actually,
Wow.
New Year's Eve, I was at a college football game winning bets, and it was fantastic. And I continued winning on to the next day, where I went to the Oregon game and gave out a bet that we talked about weeks ago. We gave out the line when it first opened, and it was an absolute blowout winner. It was fantastic. I was there in attendance, lower bowl, screaming at the top of my lungs. It was such a beautiful, glorious cash. And honestly, it was a pretty good week for me, right? I had some bets that stunk, right? Holland and City sucked. Ty Simpson got hurt. And you know what's worse about Ty Simpson getting hurt is not only did we not win the bet, here in the States, sportsbooks offer something called early exit bonus, which means you get a refund if your player gets hurt in the first half and they don't return in the second half. Ty Simpson played one series in the second half, so no bonus, no money back. But other than that, I mean, we killed it, right? Oregon won. Pat scored 38 points. We had their team total of 27 and a half, which we got in early. And then the under in the Ohio State in Miami game was easy. And last but not least, the banger game of them all, Mississippi State, Georgia, Trinidad Chambliss smoked his line. It was like 248 and a half. He finished with over 300 yards and won the game.
And you know what? Apart from that, football gave us some good profits. this week because all three of my bets won. Arsenal, okay, we
Let's
got a
go.
little bit lucky there. No, actually, we're not lucky. We're skillful, as I
We're
said last
good.
time.
Yes.
Arsenal conceded one, even after smoking Aston Villa. I think that we were inaccurate in how the match went, but we still won. That's what matters. Also, the derby of Barcelona was an easy under, and was an easy under 2.5. Yeah, it was a very easy under 2.5. It was a very close game, as we have predicted it. And of course, the Copa Africa or Africa Cup of Nations. Sorry, Copa Africa is how the Greeks say it. Where, well, DR Congo covered the 1.5 spread, but they didn't finish first in their group. Senegal finished first. But more on this later. Now, I think it's time to get rapidly into episode 5 with 4 full breakdowns and then the lightning round.
Yes, indeed. And I will start with the first one. Okay. For anybody who watched that game with the Baltimore Ravens and the unfortunate Pittsburgh Steelers. And I say unfortunate because I had the beautiful middle of if I cash Ravens winning by 3 or less, I get Steelers plus money and my 2 parlays cover. The Steelers now have to play against the Texans. So we're going Texans, Steelers, wild card. And one thing about the Steelers offense is it is atrocious. It is god awful. I don't care about their success rate numbers because they actually rank middle of the pack success rate, right? 14th in success rate or 16th in success rate, 13th in EPA per play, 16th in EPA per pass, first in EPA or 8th in EPA per rush. They are 19th in explosive play rate. 19th, 5.2 explosive play rate. Why is that? Because they run a lot of 12 personnel. This team is slow, methodical. Now they're playing against an elite defense, a defense that's not going to let you pick them apart, a defense that's going to get pressure on the quarterback, a defense that's going to have, hey, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who's 50 plus years old from the Stone Age, out there running, moving like a brick wall and a dinosaur. He did have a run against the Ravens, which was pretty funny. He's going to get destroyed. The Texans offense, I don't love it, right? 28th in success rate, 21st in EPA per play. Not a good completion percentage. Not good on third downs. But neither are the Steelers. The Steelers defense, not the typical Steel City. Steelers, 25th in third down conversion rate on defense. 17th in EPA per pass. 20th in EPA per rush. This is a Texans win. And I'm taking Texans money line at minus 160. I don't care about the -3. You could play, or -2.5. You could take the -2.5. The Texans are a team that they just get the job done. If you watch their game against the Indianapolis Colts, where they were 9.5-point favorites, they really only won that game by a couple. I'm not considering the thick 6 at the end of the game, part of their team total. They didn't care about the cover. They just cared about winning. And I think they're just going to care about winning, especially with this game on the road. And I'm going to give a bonus bet. Take Kai Fairbairn over 1.5 field goals in that game as well.
I think the 2.5 in this is also decent. So I'm gonna take one step further, one step ahead, and actually take the Texans to cover the 2.5 spread.
Nice. Let's go.
So I'm fully with you. Okay, can we come back to Europe, please? Can we move a bit back closer to Greece? Okay. We'll go to beautiful England and the Premier League for pick number 2, which comes from the derby between Arsenal and Liverpool. My Liverpool. So I think the narrative here is a bit similar to the Aston Villa match. A bit similar, but a bit different at the same time, and I'll tell you why. We have the fact that Arsenal are still conceding. They've now conceded like 5 over their last 6 games, domestic games. They conceded 2 against Bournemouth, a match that they marginally won. And I think this win, along with City's sleep against Chelsea, made them the huge favorites to win the Prem this year. And the big difference between the matches before the Aston Villa match and the match against Aston Villa and Bournemouth is that Gabriel Magalhaes is back. And when Gabriel Magalhaes is back, they change a bit defensively. They change a lot defensively, but they also change a bit offensively because Gabriel Magalhaes and the rest of the defenders, they pose a serious goal-scoring threat from the world-famous Arsenal set pieces. And this is also backed by the fact that Liverpool have conceded the most goals from set pieces this year with 12.
Okay.
So I see them doing 13 on Thursday. Regarding Liverpool, well, Liverpool is still disappointing. I thought that the win against Brighton would change things a bit, and the win against Tottenham, of course, but this was a special case. But Liverpool are still producing threats on the final end of the pitch. They average about more than 1.3x goals in their latest games, apart from that special Tottenham game when they were up by 2 players and they almost bottled the win. We also what happened in Tottenham Stadium. Ugo Ekitike seems to be okay now. He's likely to play. And since Alexander Isak is out with a long-term injury, I think that Ekitike is very, very, very crucial for Liverpool's offensive game. I'm getting a bit emotional here. Also, I think that the match itself will favor Liverpool's goal-scoring chances a bit because, as Arne Slot himself admitted after the Fulham game, Liverpool are much more comfortable when in transition, when they don't have, to play against teams that park the bus like Leeds did, because Leeds did park the bus on New Year's Day. So I'm going to take both teams to score plus over 2.5 goals in that game with the average odds of 2.05. And I'm taking this bet because I find the value to be high, considering that the price is more than evens.
Man, I am so sick of Liverpool. When I make Liverpool-based bets, they normally lose. Liverpool, they can create the highest XG in the world, and they let me down. But listen. I will be doing what's called watching from a distance. I'll be sitting back here with $0 invested, and I'll be rooting on your bet because I don't care what people say. I am not a purist of the game. I want to see goals. I don't want to see low blocks in defending. I want to see goals. So I'll be rooting for you.
I will, with an asterisk here, that, of course, we are rooting for few goals to be scored when we're taking under bets.
Yes, exactly.
The only asterisk here.
Well, I also have a pick.
I appreciate it. Yes, please.
So let me tell you my pick, right? I'm going to the Premier League just like you. And but I'm not going to as fun or as exciting of a game. You're going to the marquee matchup of Arsenal versus Liverpool. I'm going Everton versus Wolves. And before anyone turns their nose up and they say, why on earth are you going to this match? So I played earlier this weekend. I played some bets in the Wolves match. And I've got a new strategy, especially in Wolves-based games, because it's really hard to determine a winner. It's really hard to say, hey, I think it's really easy to go ahead and say Wolves are going to lose, right? Wolves have shown improvement week over week. And they went out there, picked up a win, embarrassed West Ham. Embarrassed West Ham so mad that Nuno Espirito Santos might be gone. West Ham want to get rid of their manager. Then Everton play against the Brentford side who stink on the road, and Everton too got embarrassed. So no, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say I think this one team's going to win. I think this one team's going to cover. I'm going to the player prop market because there's something that I'm licking my chops at. I'm going to take James Tarkowski over 0.5 shots at minus 105. And before you dig into his advanced analytics, I'm going to tell you his advanced analytics say don't make this bet. He only averages 0.38 shots per 90. But if you dig a little bit deeper, in the matches where they yield a bunch of corners, he goes over, right? When they played against Leeds early in the season, when they played against Fulham, when they played against Chelsea, when they played against Forest and Brentford. And the last two are way more important because in those games, or his last two games he's played, he took at least 2 shots. Why am I saying corners as a correlation? Because Tarkowski is the set piece target, whether that's long throws, whether that's free kicks, or whether that's corners. But stay with me here. I'm going to get there. Who gives up the most corner kicks in the Premier League? You don't have to answer that. I'll tell you because you can't answer because you're sitting at home. That is Wolves. Wolves are giving up a league high 6.45 corners per match. And they're giving up at least 5 corners in 70% of their matches. Everton playing at home, coming off an embarrassing loss, need this. A team that averages almost 5 corners per home match need to come out strong, need to come out firing, and I think they will excel in the set piece, giving Tarkowski ample opportunities to take at least one shot. And my favorite part about this is it doesn't even need to be a good shot. It could be a glancing header, but that counts as a shot, and that counts as a winner for me.
Yes, I'm all in for that. I'm all in after your analysis. I'm all in after knowing what James Tarkowski can do offensively from set pieces, as you said. I didn't actually know that Wolves stat, but yes, that concrete, makes your pick more concrete. I think that Everton will win though this match.
I do too.
I think that they will win, and I think that Wolves. I don't know. They fulfilled the prophecy this year. They got Ruben Amorim sacked in the morning. I wish we went live on Monday so I would do this breaking stuff. But anyway, okay, back to our betting customs. Yes, I'm with that. I will back you up. So maybe I think it's the first time in the podcast that I'm backing both your picks. Right?
Yep.
Be very careful on that. The pressure is too high at the moment. And speaking for pressure, I think it's a good time to go to pick number 4 of the core 4. And we're going to Italy, to the Italian Serie A derby between Inter and Napoli on Sunday. Now, the title race is on fire in the Serie A. We have Inter, we have Napoli, we have Milan. They're all within 3 points of difference. I wish I could say we have Brad's Juventus as well, but this is not the case, as it seems. I think it will be a 3-way battle for the Serie A title. I gotta inform you that there's an entire match day in between today and the match on Sunday. There is a full match day on Serie A, where both Inter and Napoli have some of the so-called easy opponents. One against Verona, and to be quite fair, I don't remember the other right now. Which brings me to the conclusion that they will go with the same difference they have today in Sunday's match. And I'm taking Napoli not to lose against Inter, just like they have done in the last 4 head-to-head games. And there are some stats that take me there. First of all, I think that Napoli are going to score in Giuseppe Meazza, because Inter have allowed a goal in 4 of their latest 5 matches. And of course, Inter have allowed a goal in the 4 aforementioned head-to-head matches against Napoli. I got to remind you that 3-1 win in the first round. Also, I think that there's a game changer for Inter, which is Denzel Dumfries' absence. He's been absent and he will be absent for, I think, a couple of months more at the moment, which makes them alternate their style of play. It does not allow them to spread their play and go to wings, which pretty much comforts them. Adding to the fact that Napoli have the best defense in the Serie A, they have kept a clean sheet in all of their last 4. I don't think, of course, that we will have a repetition of a 3-1 win of the first round. It's almost inevitable, even though Napoli are fully capable of striking on counter-attack. I'll be really honest with you. I was really between both teams to score and Napoli not to lose. So I'm going to take a plus 0.5 handicap on Napoli. And I'll take the plus 0.5 for one single reason. It is the most valuable selection out of this match, and it is the most valuable selection not only statistic wise or if I can say football wise, it's also the most valuable pick odds wise, because when you take the plus 0.5 instead of a double chance, the odds are 99% of the cases higher. So I'm gonna take Napoli not to lose, Napoli plus 0.5 at average odds of 2.09. Of course, you can shop around on bookmakers.bet's trusted bookies for the best odds on this and the other core 4 picks.
Okay. Oh, man. Please.
Too much info. I know.
Napoli. I actually don't agree or disagree. This is one of those matches where I could see Napoli walking away with something, but I could also see Inter flexing its muscle, right? Like the Inter versus Bologna was a weird match because it was like I think everyone knew that the Inter were going to beat Bologna. Now it's like
True.
everyone knows that this can be a draw. And a draw, you're going to win money. So I think you have the right frame of reference. So
I like where you're going with this, and I think you're exactly into my head now. 1-1 correct score.
yes, listen, I've been told if you can't split the teams, right? If you can't split the teams, what does that mean? They're even, it's a draw. And my frame of reference is if you think teams are even with one team having an advantage, a slight advantage, you always take the double chance, especially if you get good odds.
I would like to ask you on your opinion on who is going to prevail from the 3-way battle for Serie A title. Who's going to win it in the end, in your opinion?
I think Napoli. I think Napoli are going to win it.
Napoli.
I'm not a believer in AC Milan. Like, I love Max Allegri so much. I love Max Allegri. I also don't like Inter as much. I think Inter play with a weird bravado. They leave wide open spaces and they rely too much on that back sweeper to kind of protect them because it's like you shouldn't be having a Cherby coming up deep into the pitch, right? You shouldn't have Bastoni coming up deep in the pitch, but they do, and neither of those players are actually really fast. So I just think long term, throughout the entire bulk of the season, it costs them more than it benefits them. Well, it might benefit them more, but you mean in key situations.
I think you're onto something there, to be fair.
All right. Well,
okay, I think that was it with the core four.
Let's
Now
go
it's your
to
time.
Let's go to my favorite section, because it seems like these quick hitters, these 5 picks, one-liners, in and out, the lightning round is my best round. I feel like this is my most profitable round. I'm going to start with the first one, Oregon versus Indiana. And I'm going with this one. This is price dependent, right? So if you're not getting this price, don't play it. Elijah Surratt, over 3.5 receptions, even odds, plus 100. 4 against Alabama, 8 against Oregon in the first game. I think this is going to be a game where they're going to win through the air. Give me their most reliable pass catcher, Elijah Surratt, to get at least 4 receptions.
I am going to the EuroLeague that hurt me last week, but it won't do this week. And I'm taking Monaco to cover a 12.5 spread against Partizan at 188 odds. So, Monaco is in full pursuit of first place in the regular season. They have 3 straight wins. 2 of them were against Barcelona and Real Madrid, 2 of arguably the best teams. And to put it as nicely as I can, Partizan are a hot mess of a team at the moment. The fans are rioting, and their 4 last EuroLeague games, they went down with a double digit.
Listen, I'm going back to the college football game, Oregon versus Indiana, and I'm taking an under this time. Starting Oregon quarterback Dante Moore, under 3.5 rushing yards, minus 110. So Dante Moore rushed for negative 27 in the first meeting between these two teams. Quarterbacks, when they get sacked in college football, it counts against their total. Defensive line is stout. It's elite. Dante Moore will get sacked. He does take some bad sacks. I'm taking Dante Moore under 3.5 rushing yards.
And what else on my favorite Africa Cup of Nations for my last lightning round pick? Cameroon vs Morocco. Both teams score 2.35 average odds. I know, I'm not crazy. I know that Morocco are the big favorites to win the trophy. They play in Morocco, but Cameroon showed that there are no pushovers. They're playing great on counter-attack. They found the net in all their AFCON games so far, in some games more than once. And I think that, accounting the fact that Morocco's most competitive game so far was against Mali, and Mali found the net with 0.91 x goals against, I can see a 2-1 or 3-1 win for Morocco.
Yeah, I like that BTTS there. I'm going to go in the NFL wild card round. Buffalo Bills at Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking the Jags +2, minus 110. I just feel like it's disrespect for the Jaguars. This is a home game for a team that has elite defense. And also, the Buffalo Bills defense is so bad. How are they a favorite on the road against anyone?
Okay, so that was it for today in terms of picks. Let's recap a bit. We have the Texas money line against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in Arsenal vs Liverpool. We have one shot from James Tarkowski in Everton vs Wolves. And we have Napoli not to lose against Inter. And of course, as you already know, the Rapid 5 are in there too.
As in every week, we will keep on tracking everything. Yep, that's right. Wins, losses, heartbreakers, all of it.
And this show is made for you, for smart bettors. We want you to spread the word. We want you to hit the comment section. Tell us what you like and what you don't. Hit us on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube. Find our verified sportsbooks at bookmakers.bet. And as in every episode, you can find the links in the description.
And remember, to bet a winner, you got to feel a winner. And to feel a winner, You gotta be a winner.
Don't forget to bet responsibly and have a great 2026.